Lesson 12 is about transversals, and transversals are just lines that cross other lines, okay? Specifically crossing two or more lines. So right here we have two lines, and then this right here would be our transversal. So let's write down the definition of that. So a transversal is a line that crosses two or more lines, just like in this example. And when that happens, there are some interesting things we can see with the angles that are there. So let's take a look at this example right here. Now with this example, there isn't that much that we can tell except for opposite angles. We can tell that those are going to be the same. So this angle right here for 1 is going to be the same as 4. And 3, this angle is going to measure the same as 2. And if you ever want to prove that, you can do that really easy with patty paper. Just trace it and then show that when you put it on the other one, that yes, they are exactly the same. Now there's a couple different ways that you can show that those two are the same. You can do it with just simple lines, and I'll show you that. So you can either do it with these little tick marks, and if there's 1 on each tick mark, it shows that those are corresponding. Or you can do it with the amount of lines that you put around it. So like these two, you can show that those are the same as well. Or you could simply do it with color. In high school, they'll want you to do it this way, but for my class, you can show that they're the same with color. So down here, because 5 is the opposite of 8, they're the same. And same with 7 and 6, they're the same. So I could color 7 and 6 the same color and 8 and 5 the same color to show that. So here I just showed that this one right here is the same angle as this, and this one goes along with that angle. Okay. Now things get even more interesting if the lines that the transversal is cutting are parallel. So let's take a look at that example. So here we have our transversal coming through, and it's cutting across line K and line I, which happen to be parallel. Now when that happens, there's some interesting things that go on. So just like before, the ones that are opposite each other are going to be equal. So 2 is equal to 4, 1 is equal to 3, 6 and 8, 5 and 7. We know that, but there's other things that happen because these guys are parallel. One thing that you might notice is that you almost have the exact same kind of angles going on here as you do up here, which makes sense because this line is crossing them at the same angle that these ones are going to be very similar to these. In fact, they're going to be equal. So 2, not only is it equal to 4, but it's also going to be equal to 6 and equal to 8 as well. Okay, so you almost have two sets of different angles. 2, 4, 6, 8 are equal to each other. 1, 3, 5, 7 are also equal to one another. Okay, and there's different names for this stuff, and I have them on the sides. So let's get down these names. So corresponding angles are going to be equal when we have parallel lines. And corresponding angles means it's in the same spot. So 4 is in the same spot as 8. So let's write that down. Okay, so corresponding angles that are in the same spot are equal if the lines are parallel, if the lines that are being cut are parallel. So like 4 and 8 are going to be equal, 1 and 5 are going to be equal, 2 and 6 are corresponding angles, so they're equal, 3 and 7 are corresponding angles, so they're going to be equal as well. Okay. Now, there's another term for alternate interior angles. And alternate just means, obviously, alternate, just the opposite. And interior means inside. So opposite inside angles. Well, here's the inside. 4 and 6 are opposite each other. So they are alternate interior angles. Meaning so 4 and 6 are going to be the same. And by the same principle, 5 and 3 are going to be the same. So let's write those down. Alright, so alternate interior angles, the opposite inside angles are equal if the lines are parallel, if the lines that are being cut are parallel. So like 4 and 6, I did them in blue, so it helps you remember. And then 5 and 3 are also alternate interior angles. So those are going to be equal to one another. And again, you can always prove that they're equal to each other using patty paper. So you'd lay it over, trace it out, and then just move it and lay it on top, and that shows that it is the same angle. Now there's another term, alternate exterior angles, which is very similar. Alternate, opposite, exterior meaning outside. So it's very similar to the interior ones, except now we're talking about the ones on the outside. So in this case, 8 and 2 are opposite outside angles, and 7 and 1 as well. So let's get that down. So the alternate exterior angles, it's the opposite outside angles, and they are equal if the lines that are being cut are parallel. And so that is angle 2 and angle 8, which I've done in yellow, and angle 1 and angle 7, which I've done in red. Now, you might be wondering why I keep saying if the lines are parallel. Technically, the example I showed you before, you can still say that there are corresponding angles and there are alternate interior angles, but they're not equal to each other. So we almost don't care about what those angles are when they're not parallel because it doesn't tell us anything interesting. Yeah, there are corresponding angles when these aren't parallel, but you can't say that they're equal unless these lines that are being cut are parallel. So I like to pay attention to these terms and these angles when the lines are parallel because that shows us something very interesting. And that actually concludes this lesson on transversals.